Hi, this is Katie Weeks, your independent, close to my heart maker, and today I'm here to share with you a Irish St. Patrick's Day type birthday card that I stamped for a friend. And the first thing I'm doing is on white daisy cardstock stamped with the stitched fancy brackets thin cut. I am stamping It's Your Birthday. That is from the Another Candle stamp and thin cut set. And then I'm stamping Lucky to Know You. That is from the Lucky to Know You stamp set. And then both of those were stamped in Clover ink. And then I'm going to stamp in Archival Black the layers of the cakes and candles all on the thin cut pieces from Another Candle. And I'm stamping all of these in the Archival Black. And some of them I stamped a couple times. It's really nice to use that MISTI so you can get everything lined up just perfectly and stamp it multiple times if needed. And then I'm going to be stamping the sentiment for the inside of the card, but I needed to bring in a bigger MISTI. So sorry about all of the glares, but this one is from Lucky to Know You. And the Irish blessing reads, "May your troubles be less and your blessings be more, and nothing but happiness come through your door." And then underneath it, I stamped another happy birthday in black ink, and that was from Another Candle as well. Okay, and I'm going to use some of my Daisy paper. I don't know about you, but I cannot get enough of this paper, and I certainly did not order enough of this paper. But I'm using that plaid Daisy print paper on the inside, and then I'm using some Clover cardstock and more of that plaid on the outside of the card as well. And I chose a slimline card so I can make a really tall cake and candles for the front of the card, and then still layer up that sentiment on the bottom underneath my cake. Now, when I look at this cake, I think it needs a little something more. So I'm going to come in with my Clover ink and some of those Clover stamps from Lucky to Know You and stamp some large clovers on the big layer of cake and then a bunch of small clovers on the small layer cake and on the big layer of cake as well. And I thought this just looked perfect. So I have a friend that turned 60 today, and I very much love St. Patrick's Day. He's an Irish descent. He's from Irish descent, and he just loves all things March and St. Patrick's Day. So I thought this would be the perfect card to put together for him. And anytime we come out with some sort of stamp with an Irish blessing, I usually try to use it on his birthday card. So these stamps were absolutely perfect this year for me to stamp and make a card for him. So now as I come in, I'm looking at those cakes, and those candle layers needed to be cut out so that they could layer on top of each other just like all of those other candles did. So I'm coming in and trimming these out with my non-stick Microtip scissors. These are my absolute favorite scissors, and you'll notice that I'm not moving my cutting hand as much. It's the paper that I try to keep turning. And that's one of the best tips I can give you for fussy cutting is keep turning the paper and not your scissors and cutting hand. Then I'll come in and just clean up a little bit of those pieces a little bit more. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and start coloring some of these layers. of candles. So some I did in yellow, some I did in green, some I did in purple. And then when I got up a little bit further on the yellow layers, I noticed that some of the black ink was not set well enough. And so one of my tips for you for coloring in with your Spectrum Noir markers is that if you tend to have your ink smear, to try just dotting on the color. So here I am just dot, 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 dot on those yellow candles. And I think it's called pointillism or something like that in art class. It's kind of like that, only these are alcohol markers. So they kind of spread, the ink spreads, and it does not look like a bunch of dots like the pointillism or whatever that technique is for art. It will actually run together and it looks like you just colored it in normal. And then I'm going to come down here and do my icing on each layer of cake. And I just used my light green blend for that as well. So when we have specials like this Daisy paper, the best thing I can tell you is if you see something and you want it, do not wait. This Daisy, we ran out of a couple of times and they had to keep reordering it. And I'm telling you, if you snooze, you lose. So if this is one of those things you want, it's too late, most likely, unless you have a consultant that really likes to stock up on a lot of different things. And even then, that's kind of hard to guess what is going to be super popular. So if you see it and you like it, I know that we can't always buy everything at once, but I would say prioritize your purchases and order the things that you want the most the soonest. And if it has thin cuts, those also need to be the things you order the soonest as well. Okay, so my platter, I wanted to be a silver platter. And so I came in with a Spectrum Noir silver metallic marker, and we have some new ones this year. I was just wanting the smaller brush tip that was on some of our old ones, but either would work just perfectly well. And I'm going to use some 3D foam tape just to put on the back of that sentiment and pop it up just a little bit on the front of the card. I did not do a lot of dimension on this card or even many embellishments because I had stuff going inside the card, and so I didn't have room for a bunch of bulky embellishments. But I think all the different mediums of coloring really help gives it some depth. So I had my stamping, I had my TriBlend markers, and then here I'm coming in with my Lemonade shimmer brush. And the sparkle and shimmer from the shimmer brush that you put on those flames for the candles is like the perfect finishing touch. So there you go. There's my birthday card, perfect for an Irish birthday, especially if it's in March. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you have not already, hit that subscribe button, and that will let YouTube know that you've enjoyed my channel. And if you like it, they'll help share it with others. Feel free to leave a sweet comment and share this with your crafty friends. Have a great day.